All right, ladies and gentlemen, got your watch list coming in at September 30th, 2019, and it is the last trading day of September, and this year has flown by, but the stock market volatility is going to continue. So we got lucky on Friday. We said the market was going to drop, and it did indeed drop on some surprising news, and now coming into tomorrow, I am expecting more volatility. I think it's going to be a little bit crazier, and even the futures are already showing us that, but I am expecting something slightly lower. Literally, the thing that brought down everything on Friday was this rumor that the White House wanted to get rid of Chinese stocks, even delist them or ban U.S. inflows into China. It started all of this stuff, and again, we can't forget we are still in this impeachment zone is what I'm calling it. We finally broke out below the impeachment zone and then closed right there, but over the weekend, it was quickly debunked of what was happening in the sense that they said, the White House said they are not looking to do that, and what happened is futures gapped up. You can see the futures gapped up to 2977, but then they quickly sold off here, and now they're kind of pretty much right there, almost that low. So this is kind of showing us pretty much insight into what we could expect tomorrow. So I want to talk about this. I'm going to go over your keys for tomorrow, what I'm expecting, the plays that we made coming into the weekend, and then the plays that we need to watch out for. So you guys know what you need to do. Drop your thumbs up on the video. Make sure you're subscribed and drop your thumbs up. Make sure you're ready there in the morning and hydrated. We're going to be live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open. So come on, pre-market, so you can see the most important thing we need to do. Post your watch list below. Let us know what plays you're looking at, what you already played, what you have in mind. Be positive, be respectful. Let's source that information and let's get to it. So you guys see the futures there, but let's get to the keys. Either tomorrow is going to cuck, and then it could either go up, or it could even slightly go up a little bit, or not at all, or it's going to be able to slightly close lower. Now you're like, well, you just said it could do everything. I'm expecting something to close slightly lower. It does have the possibility of slipping through some of those big levels right below that impeachment zone I just showed you, and it could be a big day, but I think that would require much larger headlines, equal and opposite reactions. Shout out to boot camp, baby. But I am expecting something lower, but I'm expecting it to be volatile. Again, something like you're seeing here, the futures, where we gap up, come down, the market's going to come up. Who knows what the headline will be by morning? It may shoot up the first 30 minutes, sell off, or it may gap down, or it might come back down to open and then shoot up from there. But the whole point is, coming off of that last level, this is why I'm saying it could go up, down, either way. I have my idea of where I think it's going to move, but the fact of it hanging around here, if it does start to break through these levels, it's already given back those gains from when we had the positive trade talks. That was here on this Thursday. That's when the market kind of broke out of this zone from August, and we started to come back up, but now we're below that. And if we get right back into this zone, that's not going to look good. And this is now important. And again, too, this is what I was saying for Friday. I said Friday was going to come down because I'm worried about liquidity, and I'm worried about people rushing towards the exits. And again, if we saw a close here on Friday, we're seeing, I think, again, there's still negative aspects to that impeachment. If all of this starts to boil down and we get another Friday liquidation, and then at the beginning of the week tomorrow, everybody starts liquidating, and depending on what sectors move, that's not going to be a good sign. That's why I'm aiming towards the downside. Now, if we do close red on all indexes tomorrow, clearly that's going to be the down Friday, down Monday. That's an indicator, and I think volatility will start to begin here, coming in at the open of August, end of September, all the way into this October we got. But if not, we're going to be, if we don't see that drop tomorrow, or even if it cucks and stays the same level, we're probably going to get a volatile cuck, and it's just going to bounce back up, and the volatility is going to get pushed till next week to when those trade talks restart. So watch out for that. And then also, like we said, the China delisting, that has been debunked, or it's at least been confirmed as not happening. Doesn't mean it still can't come up, which I don't know why that even came up in the first place. However, the key that's going to confirm any of this news or any of the health of these relations between U.S. and China is our good friend Yuan. So watch the Chinese yuan. You can see it's still weakening, and this is past those levels. Every time it's broken past these levels, there's usually a problem here. This is the danger zone again. This was like the first time, if you guys remember, we made that video and we said if they break above 7, things are going to get bad, and that's exactly what happened. It's the same thing at this level. So if we get a pass there, it's not going to look good. And you could even see how today did. Although the futures made a dramatic move, the yuan strengthened a little bit but held up, and now it's weakening. So this isn't really giving us too positive of an indicator. So watch out with what we see from China coming into this week, or the beginning of the week. Then as far as the stocks go, watch out for rotations. I'm not expecting momentum to sell off further, which is what we were seeing drop. But now if If momentum does drop, it will be a bloodbath on those because some of those are already below a bunch of key levels there. And again, they've already just gotten huge haircuts so far. Otherwise, watch for now values in tech to rotate a little bit differently. So again, this is what I'm trying to observe if there truly is a orderly fashion or orderly move towards the exit versus not. So keep your eyes out for that. And lastly, if you haven't watched the spread videos, we've been talking about this for a long time. I've made a bunch of tutorials. I even posted a video today. Watch that. This is credit spread heaven. That is what we're in right now. Amen. Amen. Church. God bless. There's higher odds of success in these times of cuckening back and forth, volatile, this, that, up, down. And even if a big move happens and you have a credit spread, if you're aiming in the right direction, worst case scenario, you cap your gain. It's not as if you're going to miss out on anything. You just won't make as much money. But again, having these credit spreads, you could play bearish neutral or bullish neutral strategy. So even if you think the market might bounce up, you could do a bullish neutral strategy where if the market does go up, or if it barely goes up or it doesn't go up at all, you're still going to be able to profit, and vice versa. You could think the market's not going to go down, or you think it's going to go down only a little bit. There's ways to profit at this. The only thing you're sacrificing for more mobility of a play is, again, the gains, but you could control your risk on that as well too. So make sure you guys watch out for that. Call out any plays. If you see any high collateral plays, shoot it out in the chat, baby. We love you, chat. Let's go. But let us get into the plays. So there's a few things that we played, coming into that Friday. I did buy SLV October 18th, $18 calls. I like these. I'm going to watch it. And again, October 18th, that's only 2 weeks away now if you guys think of it. So be careful with those. Those are essentially glorified weeklies at this point, but I like SLV. If there is a move and anything's negative, you're going to watch the commodities lag, but again, you might see bonds and banks do something, so watch out for those. I do like the UVXYs for next week. I think I overpaid for this one, but these ones are closer to the money. However, if there is a fear that starts to come up, UVXY is going to be good, and UVXY with time. That's why I kept bringing up last week some of those spreads we have and seeing how the values would be down. They shot up, and now they're still kind of holding, but these are going to be the cheapest ones. And then I got Apple. Apple is leading in terms of where tech is at. So if there is a rotation out of tech, Apple has a lot more fat to give up. So does Google. And then CrowdStrike, we've talked about that. That play's already like doubled or tripled. I still like where it's at. If there is any sort of negative rotation out here, or they would be, I think, more momentum, but being an IPO, we'll see what happens. But those are the plays we watch. And then again, we're still holding those Disney, Boeing credit spreads, Tesla credit spreads, Home Depot, McDonald's. We sold all of those last week, and we got even some Baidu. And that's going to be something I'm going to watch here too. I have it on here, Baba and Baidu. Watch both of these tomorrow, especially Baba. This thing dropped $10 in 3 minutes. So if this thing keeps going, whatever the rumor is, if this bounces up, those credits, I wanted to sell put spreads. I hesitated. We bought a put spread instead. We bought a debit spread instead of a credit spread on the put. So let's see how this happens. Watch Baidu too. I think Baidu might not go up despite that, because I think Baidu is just weak to begin with. But we have those options back up again. I might be very, very tempted to sell those. So what I mean by that is I might be getting out of the one we have. I think we have this Baidu. We bought it for 40 cents. Remember, this was at 200. It was like a 95 for October 18th. But what I'd want to do is probably sell out of those, or even maybe hold those, and then I could sell a credit spread on the October 4th. I think you could get some pretty good, I think it's almost about 50% collateral to credit on Baidu's, around like the 198 puts. I'm going to look to sell some of those, but we'll see what happens. Otherwise, though, too, watch FedEx, watch transports. These were kind of making big moves last week, but again, these are the ones that are aiming towards support here, or at these key levels where I'm saying, they haven't been here literally in years, and you're seeing them sell off their crucial industry. So transports is one of those. If it breaks through, that's going to be something key. I want to watch there, so don't sleep on that. If you guys see moves, call that out. Watch Apple, like we said. This is the one I think with the most meat on it. If volatility does come back and stocks start to drop, this needs to sell off, and there's going to be some cheaper options there, both longer term, or even then, what we did sell last week, I do remember actually on the Robinhood, I sold a credit spread on the call. Where's that little bug at? Right there. I sold it August 18th, 210, 212. So these are deep in the money so far. You got a high credit, and somebody even asked, they said, when you sell that deep in the money, why don't you get assigned right away? Because again, if somebody owned that contract, why wouldn't they just hold it? I mean, it's essentially the same thing. Why would they want to give up their $20,000 or put up any cash to buy it when they could just do that pretty much the last day, especially if it's deep in the money? Even though we have been assigned before, that's the only real reason somebody would do that, is if they want to get assigned so that they could hold the stock for dividends. and be on record before then, and that would be the only risk right there. So watch out for that. But then again, too, watch Google. Again, when you see both of these, they haven't really moved, and these are giving or showing a certain level of stability, and comparing that to some of the other tech stocks, I like where they're at there. So watch those. Watch McDonald's. Again, we're still holding in the money calls that we've sold on that one. Same thing with Home Depot. Home Depot is still a little bit higher. If anything, McDonald's already dropped before, so I like Home Depot a little bit better, but we'll see how both of those play out. And then again, this is what I'm saying now, depending on what happens with momentum, watch some of these value stocks and how they play out, even though McDonald's falls on the other one. Watch Walmart. They're a solid value. They're up right here. I've been kind of waiting to sell a credit spread on the calls here, and I think we might start getting into these next week. It's only $1 apart in the strike prices. You might collect a little less, but depending on how this moves, this could be the good candidate this week for some credit spreads. And then lastly, Roku. Let's see if the doomsday still continues on here. I don't know if it will, but if it does, it will be a bloodbath. Anything below this 100, if it really starts to flush out there, I'm going to want to sell puts. And this is what we were talking about with selling in the direction. If you watch that spread video, it may seem counterintuitive. We're selling in the direction of that it's going, because eventually if you get enough premium, it does require somewhat timing. You'll be able to profit off those. But watch those. Watch the Asian stocks to see how they move, especially Baba, Baidu. You can watch PDD, Pinduoduo, also like JD and YY, but I'm mainly focusing on Baba and Baidu. Then I'm going to watch Disney. We have the negative credit spread on there, but also watch them in reference with how like Netflix has played out, Roku as well too, but I want to see what they do. I might want to even average down on that one if we don't get a bounce there and are able to cash out on those other ones. And now also SLV, we made that play. I like it. The thing I don't like about it is that it's dropping, how it's dropped off. Usually when you see a drop off here, it either needs to hold up or it's going to cuck a little. It's not going to really violently go back up, and that's what makes it hard to play the options. But I think it's interesting what silver is doing. I think very, very interesting. We haven't really seen anything like this. So keep your eyes out on that. Then Boeing, we have that iron condor still, and it's actually kind of working in our favor. Our break even at the top is 384. Our break even at the low is 370. So I'm going to watch for this, and this is kind of what it's showing me here. Again, Boeing looks good. If Boeing does break out here, it is going to rip massively and go towards 400. If not, though, it could lead to a cuckening that could pretty much bring it down here. So keep your eyes out for that. Then NVIDIA. We saw what happened with Micron. I'm watching Intel, but NVIDIA sold off pretty good. This could continue, and we saw some negativity out the chip makers coming into weekend on Friday. So however that plays out could be good. I like both of them in that instances, both Intel and NVIDIA. Micron, I think we already cashed out on that with that credit spread, but we'll see what happens here. But I like NVIDIA both either for selling spreads or even buying options. So we'll see whatever that presents tomorrow morning. And then for our final chart, don't forget about Anthem. We're still holding some in the money credit spreads, and I think the value on some of these credit spreads is absolutely insane. If healthcare still sells off, I love that play. I might want to sell another one, or we'll see what happens. Even some of the Anthem debit spreads we bought months ago are still up. This is a big move. I wouldn't sleep on it. We said watch healthcare stocks. It's still in the game, baby. EA Sports. It's in the Colt. But, you never know what happened with this and how it plays out, because, again, slow mover could come up out of nowhere, but watch out for that. I have my eye on it. Then Tesla, they announced a new software update. I think there wasn't even a car accident, but we sold that one spread, so watch how it plays around this level. It kind of looks like a shittier Boeing if you think about it, but who knows what will happen. I'm not too big of a fan with it unless they're, these big moves. I'd be down to sell some of the premium on it, but we'll see. But keep your eye out for that. We already said Anthem. Then watch Shopify. If that does start to go lower, we have that spread expiring this week, and I think it's pretty much held its value, so we'll see how that comes out here. But that's probably going to go along with Roku, or it could do its own thing, but it does definitely look weaker. And then lastly, TLT. This thing's starting to creep up. I know silver, it's weird to see silver doing that. You can watch the SPY, but watch how it also inverses with the banks here, but they're kind of doing the same thing. So one of them is going to win, or they could go up at the same time. But if anything, I think TLTs might be getting primed to move here. But after this week, I think we will definitely have an answer on that. So that is your watch list, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you post your watch list. Make sure you're hydrated, healthy, ready to go. Subscribe, like the video. Get there, get a good night rest. We better see you in the morning. Make sure you got the notifications so you don't miss it. Make sure you're positive, respectful. Go do something nice today, even before you go to sleep. We love you. Keep your head in the game. Study up on the credit spread. Study up on everything. Take it slow, baby. Remember, we got a week after that, a week after that, a week after that. If you took it slow, you would have made the money faster. The Colt loves you. Let's go!